From airstrikes to boots on the ground, the US is weighing a mission to dig uranium out of Iran's bombed nuclear sites. Hundreds of troops, radiation risks, hostile fire. One official calls it the most complicated operation in history. But if Trump doesn't care, why plan it at all? The United States is weighing one of the most complex and dangerous military operations in modern warfare. A plan to seize Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium buried deep beneath bombed nuclear sites. According to officials familiar with the discussions, President Donald Trump was briefed in recent days on a proposal that would involve deploying troops deep inside Iranian territory, excavating nuclear material, and airlifting it out under hostile conditions. At the center of the plan is roughly 450 kilograms of uranium, enriched to 60%, just short of weapons grade. The material is believed to be buried under rubble at key sites near Isfahan and Natanz, following US airstrikes last year. Retrieving it would be anything but straightforward. Military planners envision a large-scale operation involving hundreds, potentially thousands, of troops. Personnel, which would include civilian nuclear specialists, would live in a small base instead of a clandestine site. And after forces completed the arduous task of blasting through the rubble to collect uranium, planes would need to take off from a purpose-built runway to carry the material away, the Post reported.
This would be one of, if not the largest, most complicated special operations in history. It's a major risk to the force.
The operation would unfold in stages. First, US forces would need to suppress Iranian air defenses and secure a perimeter. Then, specialized teams would move in to clear debris, cut through protective layers of concrete and shielding, and locate sealed uranium cylinders stored deep underground. Each step carries significant risk. The uranium itself is highly radioactive and potentially unstable if disturbed. Teams would need protective gear, radiation sensors, and constant decontamination protocols. At the same time, they would be operating under the threat of Iranian missiles, drones, and ground forces.
There's a lot of risks associated with it. This is a very high order of complexity. There likely will be casualties. But this is the problem set for U.S. Special Operations Forces. It's what we do. We have people who are specifically trained to go into these types of environments.
However, in a stunning reversal of his rationale for the Iran war, President Donald Trump has claimed that he doesn't care about Iran's enriched uranium stockpile.
That's so far underground, I don't care about that. We'll always be watching it by satellite.
But in the event of the raid taking place, experts suggest that the mission's scale far exceeds typical US special operations, shifting from swift raids to a prolonged deployment lasting weeks or months. It would require establishing a forward operating base inside Iran, complete with logistics, security, and nuclear handling infrastructure. Extraction poses major risks, with aircraft vulnerable during takeoff under potential Iranian fire. While the objective remains preventing Iran from advancing its nuclear program, some experts favor involving the International Atomic Energy Agency under a ceasefire. The White House says no decision has been made. If executed, the plan would mark a major escalation, turning an air campaign into a high-risk ground operation. "30 days into the war, and Washington is no longer just bombing Iran. It is now weighing whether to go in and take something." According to the Wall Street Journal, President Donald Trump is considering a military operation to extract nearly 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium from sites in Isfahan and Natanz. No decision has been made, but Trump has told associates he wants the material gone by negotiation or by force. The operation, if ordered, would be anything but quick. Elite special operations teams would need to fly into active combat zones, secure perimeters under Iranian fire, excavate debris, check for booby traps, and load the uranium into specially sealed transport casks. Experts say the entire mission could take a week or longer. To back the option up, American troop numbers in the region have now crossed 50,000. On March 29th, 2,500 Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit arrived alongside 2,500 sailors. The week prior, 2,000 soldiers from the Army's 82nd Airborne Division were also deployed. The Pentagon is considering sending an additional 10,000 ground troops. The Marines could be tasked with seizing Karg Island, Iran's main oil export hub in the Persian Gulf, or with forcing open the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has blockaded since February 28, driving oil above $115 a barrel. Iran is watching all of this and has a clear answer ready.
The President of the United States has proven that the only language he understands is the language of force. In response to Trump's recent threats of a ground operation or the occupation of any part of Iranian territory, which are nothing more than wishful thinking, we declare that the warriors of Islam have long awaited such actions. They will show that aggression and occupation lead only to the humiliating capture, dismemberment, and disappearance of the aggressors. American commanders and soldiers will become good food for the sharks of the Persian Gulf.
Tehran has also warned it will target the residences of American and Israeli military and political officials across the region. Iran's Red Crescent says 93,233 non-military sites have been damaged inside Iran since February 28th, including 71,000 residential buildings.
In the name of God, the distributor of power, considering the evils and terrorist actions of the American Zionist enemies and targeting the homes of the people of Iran in various cities, the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, in a retaliatory measure, will target the residences of commanders and political officials of America and the Zionist regime in the region and occupied territories. And there is no power except with God, the Almighty, the Wise.
Both sides have peace plans on the table. Washington's 15-point proposal demands Iran dismantle its nuclear program, end support for regional proxies, and accept limits on its ballistic missiles. Tehran's counter demands war reparations, control of the Strait of Hormuz, and the removal of all US bases in the region. Neither side is anywhere close to the other. And with Marines assembling, paratroopers positioned, and a president openly talking about taking Iran's oil, the next 30 days may look nothing like the last.